Hi, I'm Zach. As you can tell, this isn't my usual video format. This isn't a mini-sode, this isn't my edited lore content, and as the title suggests, today's the last day that I'll be posting daily content until I own an Acastus Knight Porphyrion. It's a bit of a bittersweet ending for me. I was not expecting the series to end so soon. I was expecting it to go on for a lot longer, unfortunately, than it has. I know some of you are going to tell me not to apologize, and I'm not going to say I'm sorry, but I do feel like I didn't meet my end of the bargain, unfortunately. I know. Before you type things in the comments, I have to take care of my wife. She's the most important thing in the world to me, no matter anything else. But I did kind of promise to post daily content, and my hiatus lasted way longer than I was originally intending it for. But I just want to start off by saying first, I'm not going anywhere. I still plan on posting content. I'm probably going to focus less on posting shorts or reels on Instagram or TikTok and focus more on posting longer form deep dive content. I want to post more lore content, cover a broad range of topics and explore universes, and I think that would just be a lot of fun. Unfortunately, the daily grind, even before my wife's hiatus, she would complain that I'd be in here writing a script, editing, and posting a video, and I'd be in here for 2 or 3 hours, and that was just for a 3-minute video. You can imagine the daily content kind of interfering with the longer form content, but since the daily content's no longer going to be my main focus, I can actually put more of an emphasis and more of an effort in posting longer form content. So I'm not going anywhere. If you subscribe because you enjoy my content, you enjoy the things that I cover, or you think I'm an interesting personality, I promise I'm still going to be around. And I still plan on hoping to get a video out this month, a more longer form deep dive into the Knights as a whole, and then covering other content. Borb, I'm looking at you. Your Tau video is coming, I promise. But I thought I'd kind of explain myself a little bit. So some people have asked why the Porphyrion, and I have made a couple of videos that kind of talked about it, but 9 years ago, or almost 9 years ago, when the Porphyrion was first released, I fell in love with it. I think it is the best model GW has made, period. There's a lot of people who will disagree with me, but I love the Knight Porphyrion. It is my favorite model of all time, and I've always enjoyed the Imperial Knights. I have tried on several occasions to start an army in 40k. I have failed several times to start an army in 40k because, well, let's be honest, Warhammer's freaking expensive. Love it. It's friggin' expensive. 2 years ago, I made the decision I'm going to start an army. I've been watching hobby videos for the last 5 or 6 years. I've been really getting back into it. I finally made the decision I'm going to build an army, and I chose Imperial Knights. And I have made significant strides in making that happen. I started this whole series at the urging of my wife and my best friend. I had been talking about getting an Acastus Knight Porphyrion for literally weeks. You see, my best friend's getting married. In fact, as of recording on the 4th of February, he'll be getting married on Friday, on the 6th. I'm very happy for him. Congratulations if you're watching this, Josh. He offered to buy me an Acastus Knight Porphyrion if I gave him the money. So in my mind, the goal was always to give him the money because for his honeymoon, he was going to England and they were going to be visiting Warhammer World in Nottingham. He's going to get the money, he's going to buy the model. The problem is, the way Games Workshop builds their resin models with Forge World, they sell out quick. Before my wife and I moved into our new place, I had the opportunity to purchase an Acastus Knight Porphyrion, and I told my dad and my best friend to talk me out of making that purchase. Hey, so editing Zach here. I wasn't very clear in this segment of the video, unfortunately. I had my dad talk me out of making the purchase simply because I had been saving up for a few months in order to make the move to our new place. Cover all of the major costs that we were going to need. Buying new furniture, hiring movers, helping get a truck for rental, packing up everything and moving it, getting it here, paying the deposit. I didn't think that it was the most financially responsible thing in the world to do in order to drop $800 on a model when I was about to be moving in 2 months' time. So that's why I had him talk me out of it. I wanted to be financially responsible, but I needed somebody else to tell me that, even though I knew it internally. So, anyway, back to the video. Of course, within 3 days, it had sold out in the US. Hey, editing Zach here again. So, I was a little unclear in this section. I was talking about how it normally, after they sell out, takes around 18 months in order for Games Workshop to restock their Forge World resin models. Why? Well, resin models are typically hand cast into molds, and it takes time. It takes time to restock the US. GW tends to not restock region by region. They wait until they're pretty much sold out everywhere to then make more, and it's 18 months from that point. So if it's sold out in the US, it's going to take more time for them to sell out in the UK or across the EU, Asia, whatever. Once the UK typically runs out, everywhere else is run out. And when the UK runs out, it's 18 months from that point. So I knew it was going to be a while before I got this model. The reason I say all this is because they still had it in stock in England at the time. We move in to this place. My buddy offers to let me pay him to go get the model from Europe and then bring it back after his honeymoon's done. I kid you not. Last month, it sold out in the UK across the board. Sold out, and I was devastated. I had started to post content by this point, as you probably gathered, and I kind of had a feeling it was going to end around March for getting the Porphyrion. But my friends and my beautiful wife encouraged me to start posting content because I've always wanted to get into content creation into some form. I'm not great at what I do. I'm very rudimentary, but I am learning, and it's getting, I feel, the quality is getting better and better with every post, minus the minisodes. So, my dreams was dashed of getting a Porphyrion by March. At the very least, I knew I was going to have a nice long-running series that I could work on. I could be doing this for another 2 years, could build up a good amount of following, start posting regular videos. Before I knew it, I kind of fell in love with the process. There are people that show up regularly who post comments and post support. I get sad during my break where I would post a video sporadically and I haven't gotten a comment from a select few people. You know who you are. When they do finally like and comment, it makes my day. I genuinely love this process, and I love interacting with you guys as much as I can and getting your suggestions. It's so satisfying and so much fun. I truly love making these videos, and I love making them for you, the fan. So all that to be said, my dreams of getting a Porphyrion in March were dashed, but there was a good silver lining to this. I'd still be making videos on a regular basis for a long period of time, and I would continue to garner more and more subscribers, more and more followers, to turn this hobby of mine into a community. I feel like I've started that process. So all this to say, why? Why is today the last day? Why am I no longer posting content daily for Warhammer until I get an Acastus 9 Porphyrion? Late last year, I was talking to my wife, and I told her I know what I want for my birthday. My birthday's in March, and I told her I want to get my second favorite knight model ever. I wanted to get a Cerastus Knight Castigator. Now, I told her this, and I told her I do not want you buying it for me. It's expensive. I don't want you spending a lot of money on me. That's what I told her. I don't want you spending a ton of money on me. I would feel terrible. Go get with Josh, get with my dad, chip in together. She bought it for me. In the middle of that conversation, because she said she wanted to see it, I spelled it for her, so she pulled it up on the website. She bought it for me during that car ride, and it was delivered 3 days later. I have the box. It's not in here right now. It's actually out there in the living room with a whole bunch of other stuff. We're getting to that. But I do have a Knight Castigator now, which is awesome. In fact, I have the Knight Castigator the same day I posted my Castigator video. So if you watched it the day I posted it, I got the model that day. So hooray. We fast forward our story a little bit. You know, post the puppy, post surgery, she's in recovery. My wife, she's gonna kill me. My wife actually spent quite a bit of money while she was in recovery. She joined a book club. Everyone's supporting her. She's gotten a bunch of gifts from people in this book club, and it's doing wonders for her mentally and emotionally, and I love that. But people have bought her a bunch of gifts, so she's turned around and bought other people gifts as well. So a lot of money got spent, and my wife was feeling generous. She told me that I could spend as much as I wanted to get more models for my Knight Army. So I did. I turned around and I purchased a Cerastus Knight Acheron and 2 Quasaurus Knights and a bunch of hobby stuff. So I have over 2,000 points of Knights now. I started with Knights before we even met. I had Knights, and now I have 3 Questoris Knights, 2 Cerastus Knights, 1 Dominus Knight, and 4 Armigers. I have an entire Knight army. And she let me do this about a week ago? Can't remember now. About a week ago, I think. So yeah, did it about a week ago, bought a whole bunch of Knights, and I love it. I have an entire Knight army. I am one step closer to my dream. I didn't even talk about my dream. I've had a dream ever since I saw the Knight Porphyrion model. I want to go to the LVO and bring the Acastus Knight Porphyrion. At the time, no one had ever brought the model. So for years, I've wanted to bring a Porphyrion to the largest Warhammer tournament in the world. That dream has since been dashed because some people have brought it now. Thank you, LVO 2025. But I still want to get the model, and I still want to bring it to the tournament. So my goal has been to build an Imperial Knights army, go around, do local tournaments as much as I can, learn the game with one of the worst armies in the game, and participate in tournaments, and then go to Las Vegas to the Las Vegas Open and play with a Porphyrion. That's what I want to do. I am now one step closer to getting that dream. The other step is getting a hold of the Porphyrion, which now has been dashed because it's sold out across all of Europe. So you can't purchase it. Now it's available online and online only, but they may not have it in stores. When my buddy's going to Warhammer World, he may not be able to get a hold of it, which is kind of the whole point. So where does this leave us? Why is today the last day? Well, something happened last night. I got a box. It's a big box. I hold in my hand the carapace of an Acastus Knight Porphyrion. What? I don't know how. Well, I know how, actually. My wife went out and purchased an Acastus Knight Porphyrion off of a seller on eBay. I'm at a loss for words. This has been one giant elaborate ruse. See, since my wife told me that I could spend as much as I want to get Knights, she has been waiting for this to come in from England. I found the seller on eBay weeks ago, and this guy was selling new in-box, unopened, an Acastus Knight Porphyrion for like $800. Not too much over the actual price, but I really wanted it. And my wife told me no, because we didn't have the money, and we didn't have the money. And then the seller sold out, because he had like 2 in stock. And then like 2 weeks ago, he got more. I showed my wife the eBay purchases. I think that's when her dastardly plan, finally, light bulb moment went off in her head, and she decided she was going to buy me this model. But she had a problem. You see, she'd been coordinating with my dad and my sister to get some money together to buy this model for me, because again, we don't have enough money. I'm not gonna lie, I had my suspicions. Okay, let me paint the picture for you. She told me no, we couldn't get the model. One day, about 2 weeks ago, my dad calls me. He's making a purchase on eBay. He's buying a specific pop figure for his office. And he said, you know what? I just want to see what this model looks like. And so he decided to search on eBay to see what this model looked like. My brother in Christ, there's a Warhammer.com. So he calls me and he asks me, like, why is there a $60 one? Surely this isn't the model you're looking for. I was like, no, that's not it. It's for a game, completely different game. Adeptus Titanicus. I'm gonna look that up real quick. That's not how you spell hammer, Zach. Legions Imperialis. So I told him that's for a different game. It's called Legions Imperialis. It's a much smaller scale in terms of models game. But it's meant to be like much larger armies, but smaller models, so it's not as expensive. He goes, well, that makes a lot more sense, because the $60 model surely isn't the one that you're looking for. I was like, yeah, I'm looking at the bigger one. He goes, so why is there one that's 60? I was like, well, there's a game, Legions Imperialis. It's a much smaller scale models, so you can have much larger armies and fight on like what's called an epic scale. So he goes and does that. 2 days later, my wife, trying to be sneaky, turns around. She goes, hey, what was that eBay seller again? Can you send me that link? Can you show me what it is? So I pull it up and I show her, and all of a sudden the little hamster running on the wheels starts sprinting in my head. I'm like, my dad asked me about this 2 days ago. Why do you need the eBay seller? I didn't think anything of it, but an hour or two later, I go up to her and I ask her, I'm like, hey, be honest with me. Are you or my dad planning on getting me this Porphyrion? And she goes, no, we can't afford it. I just can't believe I listened to her on this one. This is the lamest excuse I could have gotten. And this should have been when the alarm bells were ringing. And I was still a little skeptical, but I believed her. You know, I took her at her word. She goes, no, I just wanted to know. I just wanted to see it. Okay, what do you mean? But I bought it. I listened to her, and I trusted her, and I was like, okay, it is what it is. Fast forward to last night. I'm exhausted. I've had a long day at work. I come home. I try to tidy up the house. I finally sit down. I don't want to play video games, and I'm physically exhausted. I'm trying not to fall asleep in my gaming chair. Exhaust. Turns out, my wife comes into the room. I'm playing Total War Warhammer 3 to kind of just take the edge off, which I was getting my ass kicked, so I don't know why I bothered. But she comes in, she takes my phone. She's asking to see my phone. She wants to take a couple of selfies. I love it when she sends me selfies. They're my lock screens. Kind of believable, but I thought it was weird. She goes, hey, what's your passcode? My wife famously cannot ever remember the passcode to my phone, period. I don't care how many times I have to tell her. I've told her at least 24 times, and she can never remember it, which is key to the story here. It's like, well, I grill her instead of just giving her my passcode. I'm like, oh, why don't you remember it? I need you to guess. Ha ha ha. We spend like 5 minutes giving her shit for not remembering the passcode to my phone because I've told her so many times. She goes, well, I just want to take some selfies because I know that you like selfies on your phone and yada yada. I was like, okay, fine. She gets the passcode correct, but I take my phone because I was like, you don't even need the passcode. Just hold the camera button down. And she gets a look on her face, which I thought was just her going like, oh, well, I'm dumb. This will be relevant later. So we have this thing that we call Ho Night. Don't ask. But it's basically where we get together as a family, go visit someone's house. Usually they come here, we go to my sister's, or we go to my parents. Like one of those three, right? And we just get together, have dinner, and talk. Just a family night. It's called Ho Night. My sister's very creative at naming things. But you see, last night we go over to my sister's for Ho Night, and I was going to bring a model, and I was going to build, and I was working on my Acheron. So I grab my box, what I think is my box. It has all my tools in it. So I'm like, okay, I'll take this, and we'll take it over to my sister's, and we go and grab Chick-fil-A, and we're like 30 minutes late. Get there, sit down, I eat my food, I start working on my models, and I realize I've grabbed the wrong box. I have to go back home to get the correct robot because I don't have the parts that I need to build the robot that I want. My dad gets up really quick out of his chair and goes to my sister's computer room. My sister's asking me questions like, why do I need to go get a box? Don't I have what I need? I'm like, no, I don't have it. I have the wrong parts. This is for a different model. I need my Acheron if I want to work on my Acheron. Out of nowhere, my best friend gives me a FaceTime call. He doesn't call me this late at night, especially FaceTime, ever, which again, thought was weird. At this point, I should have been connecting the dots. So they come out, give me the box. I'm sitting there like, I knew it, but I believed everybody. I was so, like, happy, angry. I was like, I knew it. I knew what you were doing. Holy shit. I am an Acastus Night Porphyrion. What? Turns out, my dad had texted the group chat about they were going to get there early and they were going to hide it to get ready for the surprise. And my mom called my dad out for that because what are you doing? You just sent that to the group chat with your son. And my dad texted my wife to come to the game room to get my phone to delete the text messages, which is what that whole ordeal was. She needed the passcode to delete the text messages off of my phone. What? Dog's gonna go outside. I'll be right back. I'm back. So my wife came in to delete the messages off my phone so they wouldn't ruin the surprise. How did I not know? How did I not know what was going on? I chose to believe everybody in my life who lied to me to fulfill a dream of mine. I'm gonna have to cut these off the sprue gates. I'm gonna have to wash them, build them, prime them, paint them, and then take this thing to Las Vegas. A dream of mine for over half a decade is about to come to fruition. So that leaves me here. I can't keep posting content daily until I own an Acastus Night Porphyrion. Because I own one. So, yeah, I guess there's a happy ending to this tale. My wife told me that she really pushed for me to get this because she wanted to thank me for all the hard work that I've been putting in, for helping take care of her, for being an amazing husband to such an amazing wife. She wanted to thank me, and she's legitimately going to fulfill a dream of mine that I did not know was going to be possible. Here, I'll show you. I don't have why is that hard? Why can't I say that? A certificate of authenticity. but I do have the initials and the date that the Porphyrion was inspected by a Games Workshop employee on this little pamphlet right here. I might frame that. I'm not going to lie. That and the instruction booklet, which, by the way, I dropped a Sharpie. I have an Acastus Knight Porphyrion. So, I just want to end today's video with a message for you from my dad and some videos that my wife took of me last night about the Acastus Knight Porphyrion. I warn you, I try really hard not to cuss in these videos. I cussed a lot last night. I cuss a lot regularly. So don't judge me too harshly, but I haven't even seen the videos yet. I guess in conclusion from me, thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys later.
Well, hello there, Warhammer Land. This is Zach's dad, otherwise known as Wild Geezer. I'm talking to you today before Zach finds out about a very special something. You see, I know he's posted a little bit. He's talked about needing to take care of his wife and been busy with work and with just life in general, and that is all actually true. The man has basically worked about 3 full-time jobs over the past few months and then decided to add Warhammer video content on top of it, which I'm biased, but I think he does an excellent job at. His parents, his wife, and his brother-in-law and sister, we all got together and decided, you know, we need to reward all that effort. And we also thought it'd be really funny if he had to figure out what to call his video channel, since it's not daily Warhammer content until he gets an Acastus Knight Porphyrion. And with that, that's enough looking at me. I've got something I would like to show you. And look at this. We all went in together. If I'm sure most of you, just by looking at the box, you know exactly what that is. For the rest of you, I will show you. He has himself one of those. And so we are fired up to give it to him. It came today. We are going to surprise him tomorrow night. We do regularly family get-togethers. This is going to get sprung on him in the middle of that, well before his birthday, and yeah, then we're gonna find out what one of these bad boys looks like. I'm sure you're gonna get a lot of video as it's being built and painted. That would be my guess anyway. That would be my hope, and maybe you'll hear from me a little bit in the process too, because I gotta admit that I'm a little bit intrigued, and the dude does quite a good job getting his models built. So anyhow, there you go.
You want to hear something funny? I was like, Gary, have you looked at it at all? And he's like, no, I haven't touched it. I was like, watch, he opens it up, and it's just a dunce box.
I thought it was suspicious when you asked me about the Acastus Knight Porphyrion, and then she told me something about it. Okay, fair enough. This is what? Holy shit, that's a lot of risk. I just almost stabbed myself in the finger.
Okay, take the X-Acto knife away from him.
Shit. So,
is it the right one?
Yeah.
Okay.
So now what you have to do is figure out what you're going to call your dadgum channel.
Well,
I've already been talking to your people about this.
Who have you been talking to?